We're just about 4.5 minutes from liftoff. Shortly, the transporter erector is going to retract to its pre-launch position. We may see in a few seconds here the arms cradling right under those fairings. Watch those open up. What's going to happen is that TE is going to retract about 2 degrees from the rocket from vertical. And you can see right now those arms are opening up just slightly. In a few seconds, you'll see those arms back off as the TE retracts. And it's just, those 2 degrees is just a little bit of movement, but it's enough to clear the rocket to allow it to leave the pad. At liftoff, it's going to move to a position 45 degrees from the rocket. And you can see it's starting to retract a little slowly there. First stage fuel loading is complete, and we're currently awaiting for the first stage liquid oxygen loading to complete. And shortly after that, at about T-minus 2 minutes, the second stage's LOX will also complete. One final big milestone before liftoff. You're going to hear the announcement that Falcon 9 is in startup mode. This announcement means that the rocket's own internal computers are now controlling the launch countdown on the Falcon 9. Once the engines are confirmed to be at full power, the flight computer, which is located on the second stage, will command the ground hold downs to release the rocket right at T-minus 0. The satellite team continues to monitor the status and health of the Turksat 5A payload located inside the fairing on the top of the second stage. All systems are go on the satellite. In terms of range and weather, currently everything appears to be on track for an on-time launch. The range is green. We've been monitoring weather. The only primary concern we have is the cumulus cloud, thick cloud rule. But right now, conditions are looking favorable. The percent of violation is 30%. That means there's only a 30% chance of us postponing liftoff. So things are looking good. If for some reason we have a call on today's launch, we may be able to begin again within this launch window tonight. But we do have a similar 4-hour backup opportunity scheduled for tomorrow evening around the same time. But for now, all systems continue to be go for an on-time liftoff at 9:15 p.m. Eastern Time. At this time, the LOX loading is complete. It just finished on the second stage, and that is the last milestone for propellant loading prior to liftoff. You're going to start seeing a buildup of white clouds emanating from the Falcon 9. That's perfectly normal. That's that excess liquid oxygen boiling when it's exposed to the ambient temperature of the air around the Falcon 9 fuselage.
Ground gas closeouts.
The first and second stage are beginning to pressurize for launch, and we're about 15 seconds away from that startup mode call-out.
Flight computer has entered startup.
We have confirmation of startup. We're just waiting for launch director's go for launch call out.
Turksat 5A, Falcon 9, LDs go for launch.
And you've heard it, we're 30 seconds away. All systems are go for an on-time launch of Falcon 9 with the Turksat 5A satellite, our first launch for this year.
30 seconds. T-minus 15 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Ignition. And liftoff.
The vehicle is pitching downrange. seconds into flight. On the Falcon 9, all engines are running at full power. We are preparing to enter through our first major milestone after liftoff, Max Q. It's going to occur at T plus 1 minute 12 seconds. We're going to throttle those engines down. We've confirmed nominal status from the avionics team. Next, Max Q. That's when the vehicle experiences the greatest amount of dynamic pressure. We throttle those engines down, and afterwards we throttle them back up to keep dynamic pressures below a certain level.
Supersonic. Max Q.
We've successfully crossed the Max Q threshold. Everything is looking good with the first stage's trajectory. Next, we're going to start our MVAC chill. This is going to help us prepare for the next 3 major events. They occur one after another. The first one, those 9 Merlin 1D engines are going to cut off. That's known as MECO, or main engine cutoff. Right after that, the first and second stage will separate, and then the Merlin vacuum engine on the second stage will turn on. That's known as SES-1. About 15 seconds away from throttling down those Merlin 1D engines, you'll start to see that visual change and that plume you see on the screen.
Main engine cutoff.
Stage separation confirmed.
All right, all good news here. We had successful main engine cutoff, stage separation, and second engine start 1. Our next milestone is fairing deployment. Those 2 fairing halves on the top of the second stage are no longer needed, and we'll jettison them to help expose the Turksat 5A satellite to space and attempt to recover those later on.
Second stage is on a nominal trajectory.